She polished the Barrett. The steel caught the light. The SEAL leader stopped cold. He knew that rifle and the ghost behind the 3,247-meter shot. But he didn't know her name, not yet. Tonight the bullet would remember. She polished the Barrett in slow circles. Oil, cloth, breath. The bench held quiet tools, springs, swabs, a small brush that knew where dust liked to hide. She moved the way surgeons move when a room is listening. The broken watch on her wrist kept bad time on purpose. The second hand twitched, then rested. It had learned stubborn from her. Boots stopped in the doorway. No knock. The SEAL leader stood still. Square jaw, wind-burned eyes, a posture taught by long orders and short sleep. He looked at the rifle first, then at her hands. Not for beauty, for history. Where'd you learn to make steel look like that? He asked. Rebeca didn't stop. Same place I learned not to talk about it. He stepped in. Dust followed like a shy dog. You civilian? She tilted her chin at the empty wallet on the cot. Contractor. The wallet lay open like a mouth with nothing to say. Only a folded drawing inside. A road, no lines, no trees, dust to a low horizon. Name? He said. Rebeca, no last name. Names are nets. She kept hers on shore. His gaze traced the 50 long, patient metal. A sleeping animal that dreamed in miles. He saw the rubbed scar by the receiver. A letter worn smooth by years of cloth. His throat moved once. You're the one, he said. Not a question. Lots of ones in the world, she said. The shot, he said. 3,247 meters. Even the dust held its breath. She cleaned the crown with a swab. People talk. People who were there don't, he said. Not with open windows. He handed her a brown folder. Thin, creased, it smelled like hot toner and long flights. She opened it. Photos, thermal ghosts. A concrete warren stapled to a mountain. Wind notes in neat block print. A child's shoe on a step. No foot. You'll have overwatch, he said. No one moves until you say the ground is listening. What's the pay? We pay for precision. Good. Clean shots cost. He nodded like he had waited to hear that. You know what that weapon does. I know what leaving people alive can do to others. A small pause. I was on a ridge once, he said. A man fell where no bullet should reach. We lived. Some stories are better without signatures, she said. The broken watch clicked, stopped again as if time had thought better of it. What happened to it? He asked. Bad wall. Worst day. Did the wall win? Only for a minute. He moved to the door. Wheels up in 4 hours, he said. You'll meet the team there. I'm Hale, she nodded. He left. The room widened without his rank in it. Outside, a convoy tugged a dusty road across the base. She stripped the rifle. Built it again. Not magic. Memory. The small bridge between breath and impact. She packed light. 3 magazines. A rain-smelling notebook. The pencil road slid inside the cover. She pocketed the empty wallet. You carry your empties so you know where to pour, her grandfather had said. Buckets lives. At the threshold, she looked back. Sun pooled on the bench. The rag kept the shape of her hand. She killed the light, walked the hall, felt the building exhale. The hangar hunched in heat. Hale stood in the shade line, tablet tucked in, jaw set. She stopped a meter short. One thing, he said, eyes on the Barrett. If anyone asks, I was never there. Relief moved through him and vanished. He started to speak again, stopped. His gaze slid past her. His face emptied. Rebeca turned. A man stepped out of shadow, tall, not wide. A scar tugged his lip into a crooked smile. He carried a long flat case like a musician late for a train. Long time, he said. Voice like canvas tearing. Her grip tightened. The watch twitched. Her mouth dried. He set the case on a crate, flicked both latches, turned it so the light ran along foam and steel. Her throat closed. Inside lay a rifle she knew better than her own name. And when she saw the half-moon scratch hidden under the rear rail, the one she'd carved at 19, her heart found its old rhythm, as the man with the torn lip smile said, Miss me? Memory hit like dry wind, all grit. No scent 19 cold quarry, a bus that didn't come. That rifle had lived in her hands like a second spine. She'd cut that half-moon as a promise, never be owned by a tool. It will leave you, Voss, she said. The name tasted like old nickel. Hale kept his feet still. You know him? Everybody knows Voss, she said. If they've ever paid for silence. Voss smiled as if insult were currency. I prefer broker. He lifted the rifle out with ceremony. This one remembered you. It complained. She took a step closer. Not too close. The foam held the imprint of a ring she no longer wore. Her empty wallet burned in her pocket like it held a coal. "What do you want?" she asked. Hale cut in. "He's not on my manifest." Voss tipped an apologetic palm. "Commander, your manifest is a hymn. I'm here because hymns don't always reach the ones who need hearing." He set the rifle back down slow. "Close the lid like folding a letter." "Plain," Rebeca said. "Plain," Voss agreed. "Your shot." "The one no one admits." It stirred wasps. "One of those wasps built himself into the place you're flying toward," Source, Hale said. "Me," Voss said. "And a man who likes to live." He pulled a photo from his jacket. "Set it on the crate." "Her gift." Rebeca turned a corner of it with a finger. A room, a single chair, a girl in the chair. Hands tied, eyes bright as noon water. The world tilted 1 degree. "Who is she?" Hale asked. "A student," Voss said. "She draws roads when she's frightened." Same road, no lines. No trees, dust to a horizon. Heat rose behind Rebecca's eyes. Not rage, script. She pulled the empty wallet. Opened it. The fold held her pencil road. The same line. The same hope, faint at the edge. She mailed that to an aid office after the bus, Voss said. Someone copied it. Someone kept it. "I knew you would too." His glance dropped to the wallet. "You keep empty so you know where to pour." He shouldn't have known that. She closed the wallet. "Where?" "In the complex," Voss said. "Your wasp likes bait." Hale pointed at the case. "Why bring her old rifle?" "Because doors open for history," Voss said. "And because she has to choose. Ghost this mission, or bring the past as a compass." Rebeca watched the case. The lines she knew. The scratch only she could find. The broken watch clicked once. "Decided nothing. Off my tarmac," Hale said low. "Who compromised my line?" Voss lifted both hands. "Wings up," he said. He looked at Rebeca. For one thin second, his smile lost its mockery. "Dusty road," he said softly. "Do you remember why you drew it?" She didn't answer. He didn't wait. He walked away without the limp. A trick, like a story you sell to a guard so he watches your mouth, not your hands. Hale exhaled a level breath. "Tell me what he is." "An old noise," she said. "He sells air. Can we trust the photo?" "We can trust what it does to me," Hale nodded. "Motives over maps." "Plain." The ramp yawned. The team waited. They didn't stare. They counted in their heads without moving. One chewed worry in his cheek. One wore a ring on a chain. One kept asking the sky for answers with his eyes. They lifted. Fields flattened. Ribbon Road unspooled and threw dust behind a single car. The horizon didn't complain. "Rules," Hale said over the thrum. "You own the hourglass." "We don't move without your yes," she nodded. "Good." She closed her eyes. Saw the girl. Saw a chair. Saw a pencil road with nothing but distance. Her headset cracked. A new voice slid in, calm, almost kind. "Wind calls in 10. We'll give you height and heat as we have it." "Copy," she said. She touched the broken watch. Cold circle. She touched the empty wallet. Thin leather. She thought of dust and the way it remembers feet. Then the pilot's voice went hard. Eyes front. "We've got a mirage on the ridge. To reflection. 3 o'clock. Rebeca leaned to the window and saw a single white blink from stone. Not sun. Not glass scope. Watching back. They circled wide. No landing on the ridge. "No easy line." Rebecca's jaw set. "Put me down behind that broken wall," she said. "West spur." Hale checked the map. "You'll be alone 100 meters out." "I'll be alone either way," she said. He didn't argue. The bird dipped. Wind shoved heat in her face. Gravel spun. They dropped behind the wall like a coin sliding under a door. Silence grew big after the rotors left. Rebeca stayed still, counted. Let the ground stop ringing. The wall wore faded paint and pockmarks. The watch pressed cold. She slid to her belly and crawled to a slit where the world fit in a narrow frame. The complex clung to the mountain like stubborn ivy. Concrete and angles. A single tower with glass that had learned to squint. A courtyard the size of a good lie. She breathed the air with her teeth. "Rebeca, this is Hale," the radio said. "We're orbiting." "Your glass?" "Good," she whispered. "But something's upslope watching back." "Copy, we'll keep the sky blind." She built her position from small things. A folded jacket under the heel of her hand. A smooth stone under the toe of her boot. The empty wallet under her chest like a thin heart. She brought the Barrett to the slit. Let its length find her bones, no instruction. No mystique. Just the quiet math of a straight story. Heat shivered the air. The courtyard wavered. A man crossed with a tray. He moved like a hired body who believed mornings would keep coming. Another man smoked in a doorway. The tower glass held the day like breath in a jar. She found the chair, small metal. A girl sat in it, wrists bound, hair damp at the temple. She stared at the middle distance, as if a road might grow there if she kept looking. Rebecca's throat tightened. "I have the girl," she said. "North edge of the yard." "She's alive." Hale's answer carried a thin thread of relief. "We see your mark." A sliver of light blinked upslope. Farther than comfort. Not a mirror. A scope. Patient. She followed terrain lines. A dry crease that ran away like a sentence. A patch of dusty road that had forgotten who made it. "Counterglass on the ridge," she said. "He's good." "How good?" "Good enough to wait." Hale swore once under his breath. "We can smoke the ridge." "And warn the hive," she said. No, they held. Time moved like a slow animal. The broken watch clicked, then slept. Rebecca drank from a warm bottle. Grit ground her teeth. The girl in the chair blinked slow. Once she turned her head and looked at nothing. Hope is a muscle. It lifts, it shakes, it keeps lifting. A man came into the yard with a camera, another with a clipboard. They framed the girl like bad art. Rebecca felt her stomach go cold. "Hale," she said, "they're staging something." "Copy. We can't breach without your call." She thought of Voss, of the ring imprint in the foam, of the way some doors open for history. She slid her hand down to the stock and found the half-moon groove hidden under the rail. Her fingers fit like they had never left. "Rebecca," Hale said, quieter. "You good?" "I'm a road," she said. "Dust only sticks if I stop." Footsteps upslope, a faint scuff where no bird moved. She shifted her glass a thumb width. Found it, a man in rock colors, sun net over his face, long barrel laid into a cradle of stone. He blinked like lizards blink. Sideways, they were looking at the same yard. The same chair. The same girl. "Counters on the girl," she said. "He's not after us." "Who's he shooting?" "Whoever they bring into the frame," she said. The yard door opened. A figure stepped out. Grease under the nails. A mechanic's jacket. He walked like he didn't belong. Like he had been told a lie in a soft voice. He knelt by the girl, spoke. She shook her head. He reached for the rope. Rebecca shifted her breath. The counter-sniper's glass tightened. The barrel's mouth kissed the wind. "Rebecca?" Hale asked. She let the road inside her go quiet. One shot to cut rope and keep the man alive. One shot to break the camera. One shot to make the counter blink. Choices stacked like tiles. Her empty wallet pressed into her ribs. She settled on the smallest mercy she could afford. She touched the trigger. The world held very still when the tower glass flared with a new light. Bright as a second sun. The flash wasn't sun. It was a signal. A mirror lifted from inside the tower. Quick sweep. Down, up, left. A code. Old. Field taught. Rebecca felt it in her bones before she passed it in her head. Not for her. For the man on the ridge. She shifted her scope to catch his face as the message reached him. He made one short nod, adjusted a hair. Not toward the mechanic. Toward the girl. "No," she breathed. "No, no." She eased the trigger back that last quiet sliver. The Barrett spoke once. The yard jumped. The rope snapped clean. The camera's lens cracked in the same breath. Two fragments of glass spat light. The mechanic flinched. The girl sucked air like someone had given it back. Upslope, the counter's shot broke late. His bullet took the chair where a head had just been. Metal screamed, sparking teeth. Then dust. "Move," Rebecca said. Now Hale didn't ask. "Team, go." Doors on the far side burst. Figures peeled off the wall like shadows with plans. Smoke pots coughed grey. The yard turned to fog. The tower mirror flashed again. This time at her. A short bright scrape of light against her slit. She dragged the glass to the tower. A silhouette in the window, tall, one hand lifted. And then, like a magician's coin, gone. She felt Voss's grin in her skull, though he was nowhere near this place. "Rebecca," Hale said. "We're inside the yard." "Contact light. Tower's signaling," she said. "Counter's good. You have 2 minutes before this place learns to scream." "Copy, we're on the girl." Gunfire stitched short lines through smoke. A cry, a clatter. The mechanic crawled. The girl crawled with him. Rebecca cut a man from behind them. Once another at the edge of fog. The Barrett's recoil soaked through her bones like a low drum. The watch on her wrist twitched and started to tick, slow, steady, as if time, for one brief stretch, had chosen bravery. Counter-relocating, she said. South switchback. He wants height. Can you take him? Not yet. She slid back and shifted 3 meters to a second slit. The ground here smelled like burned tires and rain that never came. The dusty road below kept its long, quiet promise toward a low horizon. She found the counter again. He had moved like smoke moves under a door. Good. Patient. He set his rifle into a fresh cradle, waited. She saw, for the first time, the ring on his right thumb. Heavy iron stamped with a hornet wasp, she said aloud. What? Hale asked. Nothing. The tower window broke. A head came out, eyes like pale coins. He held a radio. He spoke and the yard answered with new bodies, more fire. More bad ideas, Rebecca, Hale said, breath fast but voice level. We have the girl. We're short one man. The mechanic's with us. Extraction? East breach. Your call on the ridge. She watched the counter's breath. Slow, regular. A man who had learned to live by small decisions. He wasn't looking for her. He was looking for lines to cut in the chaos below. Men like that don't miss. They don't rush. She could shoot now. It would be a long drag, a harsh ask through heat. The kind of shot that eats people from the inside if they're not careful with what they believe. Her empty wallet pressed in. Emptiness can be fuel or fire, or both. The girl fell, not from a hit, from a hole in the ground, a trapdoor. She vanished with a small sound like a breath put down on a table. Gone, Hale said, a jag of static riding the word. She's gone. Rebecca's throat closed. Where? Floor gave way. Tunnel, Hale snapped. We're on it. The counter lifted his head. He knew the trap. He knew the route. He rotated a hand, 2 fingers ticking, a sign she recognized from a school older than any badge. Rotate, collapse, herd. He wasn't shooting them. He was shepherding them, driving them where the hive wanted them to go. East is bad, she said. Reverse now. We can't, Hale said. Wall sealed behind us. Rebecca lifted the glass to the tower again. The mirror flashed one more time, down left, pause. Voss's code, the one he used the day everything had gone crooked, long ago on a ridge with no name. The watch ticked, steady as a metronome in a room full of breath. Rebecca slid the bolt, chambered her quiet certainty. She took the counter's ring. He jerked, looked at his hand like a man waking from a bad sleep. She sent the second round through the radio on his chest. He fell back, not dead. Hurt enough to be late, Hale, she said. Your door buys you 30 seconds. North ladder. There's light there. Take it, copy, Hale said. Moving. Feet hit rungs. Voices hit walls. Smoke moved like low weather. The Barrett cooled under her cheek. She tracked the yard and felt the shape of what was happening. The girl wasn't bait for guns. She was bait for feet, for roots, for choices. Rebecca wiped her lip and tasted iron. She dialed one click, then another. Not for distance, for trust. And then the dusty road below, the real one, the one nobody used because it did not seem to go anywhere, woke with a growl, engines low, multiple. A convoy rolled into the mirage shimmer at the far end. 3 trucks. Canvas backs. A lead jeep with a smile of steel welded to its nose. They came slow as if their drivers believed in arrival. Convoy west, Rebecca said. You'll be boxed if you linger. Understood, Hale answered. We have the mechanic. We don't have the girl. Rebecca swept the yard. Found a grate where the ground breathed. She saw the thin smear of dust crawling up through it. A tunnel with lungs. Vent at grid 9, she said. If she's moving, the air's telling on her. On it. Upslope, the counter crawled like a hurt animal to a new angle. He wasn't done. She wouldn't be either, in his place. He dragged his rifle. He made himself small. His ring hand bled where the iron had been peeled. He pressed the hand to his chest and smiled a little. The smile said, not bad. The tower window coughed another mirror flash. Short, harsh, a code she didn't know. Do hymns for new soldiers, Rebecca, Hale said, breath loud now. North ladder clogged. We're at the vent. I hear... He didn't finish. A small hand shot up through the grate. A wrist thin as a reed, fingers that still had drawing on them in smudged grey. The mechanic grabbed, hauled. A girl's head broke into light. Eyes bright. Hope as stubborn as weeds in concrete. Got her, Hale said. His voice shook once, then steadied. "We're moving." The convoy reached the yard gate and waited, engines rumbling like bad weather. The jeep's guns swiveled where men might be. The trucks coughed men. Shadows with boots. Rebecca set her crosshair on the gate chain. 1 round. The chain leapt, broke. The gate shuddered back into its own hinge and stuck there, stupid, surprised. "Path," she said. "Seen," Hale answered. He ran the team toward the hole she'd made in the day. The mechanic carried the girl like a promise he had not expected to keep. The ring-on-chain man guarded their thin rear with a short rifle and a long prayer. The skywatcher finally looked at the ground. Upslope, the counter found his breath. He rolled to one knee, one eye, one line. He sighted not on the team. On Rebecca. She felt it the way prey feels it when grass speaks. She moved quick and flat, as his shot chewed stone where her head had been. Shards bit her cheek. The watch face took a nick. The second hand jumped, then went on ticking as if it had decided to live forever. "Sniper on me," she said. "Keep moving." The tower coughed bodies. They fanned to the yard's edges and tried to grow teeth. She clipped 2. The rest learned to keep their heads.